In this video, you will see what is the top 10 must-have units in the Bleach anime last stand update. Every units in this video are all obtainable and not from trading. I do want to know, what do you think is the best unit in this Bleach update? Remember to subscribe and like, and with that being said, in no particular order, the first must-have unit is Urahana. Kisuke is one of the newest Battle Pass unit added in this Bleach update, and he became the best nature unit with his overpowered stats, hemorrhage damage, and he becomes full AoE at later upgrades. Urahana's stats are max upgrade and max LR, 31.4 million damage with his hemorrhage damage dealing 44 million damage, and his SPA at 5.28 seconds, making his damage per second at 14.2 million. And at later upgrades, he will get an ability Reconstruction. When activated, the base will be able to take 8 enemies and deal no damage to the base, which is extremely strong for clutching waves. How to get Urahana is by getting to tier 50 of the season 9 battle pass. Urahana best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Alright, next in is Ulmara Segunda. Ulmara is still one of the best affordable nature unit in this Bleach update. Ulmara Segunda stats are max upgrade and max LR, 21.8 million damage with his SPA at 5.91 seconds, making his damage per second at 3,688,663, which is insanely strong, especially he is a nature unit and there aren't as many nature units that have this high of a damage, especially him having Avatar trait, which is the second best trait on Ulmara. How to get Ulmara is from the Hollow Dimension in World 1 Act 6, where he is a 5% drop rate both in normal and nightmare. Ulmara Segunda's best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Okay, next in is Gorna Pre-Requiem. Gorna is one of the best heal nature units with his insane damage and cheap to max upgrade. Gorna Pre-Requiem stats are max upgrade and max LR, 3.4 million damage with his SPA at 9.39 seconds, making his damage per second at 362,087, which is extremely strong for a nature heal unit. Gorna Pre-Requiem best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Alright, next one is Pooi Made in Heaven. Pooi is one of the best obtainable units you can get, especially at later upgrades. He will get an insane ability and will be able to stun both air and ground enemies. Pooi Made in Heaven stats are max upgrade and max LR, 22.1 million damage with his SPA at 3.99 seconds, making his damage per second at 5.5 million, and at later upgrades, Pooi will get a new ability where it will reset every other unit's cooldown, which is extremely strong, like oh my gosh. How to get Pooi Made in Heaven is by getting 3 moon fragments, which will spawn every 24 hours from the last time you picked it up in the new legend stage Ruined Warrior. And we'll be needing all 3 of the diary page. Pooi Made in Heaven's best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Okay, next is Grammy Unleash. Grammy is one of the newest obtainable unit you can get in this new Bleach update, and he became insanely good, especially he is strong for early defense and have an insane ability at later upgrades. Grammy Unleash stats are max upgrade and max LR, 44 million damage with this SPA at 4.18 seconds, making his damage per second at 10.5 million, which is extremely strong. Grammy gets an ability at later upgrades. When activated, it will deal 15 billion damage to all enemies in Grammy's range, which is honestly overpowered, like what the frick. Grammy's Unleash best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Alright, next one is Pride the One. Escanor is one of the best damage per second unit with his overpowered full AoE at later upgrades, and he's extremely strong team buff in this new Bleach update. Pride the One stats are max upgrade and max LR, 35.5 million damage with his burn dealing 42.6 million, and his SPA at 5.09 seconds, making his damage per second at 15,343,811, which is extremely overpower. Especially at later upgrades, he becomes a fully with a huge range, which will carry you in most purgatory caverns. Not only that, it will also help you with your legend stages, especially if you have Pride the One on your first slot. You'll be able to buff your whole team by 20% damage. Pride the One's best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Okay, next is Flame Breather. Rengoku is one of the best burn units, especially he is hybrid on placement and is affordable at wave 2, making him insanely strong for legend stages, caverns, and portals. Flame Breather stats a max upgrade and max LR, 12.9 million damage with his flame dealing 15.5 million damage and his SPA at 3.66 seconds, making his damage per second at 7,759,562, which is extremely strong, especially on how affordable he is. How to get Flame Breather is from Demon Capsule, and you can get Demon Capsule from Infested City Infinite mode. Alright, next in is Captain Commander Kai. Yamamoto is one of the newest obtainable unit, and it became insanely strong with his full AoE and burn at later upgrades in this new Bleach update. Captain Commander Kai stats a max upgrade and max LR, 40.7 million damage with his burn dealing 48.9 million damage with his SPA at 6.83 seconds, making his damage per second at 13.1 million. Oh my gosh, which is incredibly good. Especially he is a full AoE at later upgrades and will be able to summon enemies. Captain Commander Kai's best traits are Glitched, Avatar, and Overlord. Okay, next in is Killer Bite the Dust. Kira is one of the best fire units, especially with his insane DOT damage. Killer Bite the Dust stats a max upgrade and max LR, 19.9 million damage with his DOT damage dealing 33.9 million damage and his SPA at 6.52 seconds, making his damage per second at 8,251,533.74, which is extremely strong with this huge AoE circle, and he will be able to hit both air and ground enemies. Killer Bite the Dust's best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Alright, next in is True Curse King. Sukuna is one of the strongest damage per second with his nuke ability at later upgrades and team buff. True Curse King stats a max upgrade and max LR, 27.3 million damage with his dismantle dealing 62.4 million and his SPA at 6.12 seconds, making his damage per second at 14,656,862, which is insanely good. When having True Curse King as your leader, it will buff your team's range by 35%, which is incredibly good. Do keep in mind that you can only have one leader buff by equipping one of the Gollies in the first slot. How to get True Curse King is by equipping all of the 7 Deadly Sins Evolve units, Pride Noon, and Megumi Evolve, and talk to the Sukuna at the summon area at World 2. When done correctly, you should be able to evolve your very own Sukuna. At the last upgrade, he will get a new manual ability where he will be able to nuke the enemies. Okay, next unit is Ichiban Kai. Ichiban is one of the newest obtainable unit you can get in this new Bleach update, and he became one of the best dark units. Ichiban Kai stats a max upgrade and max LR, 38.6 million damage with his SPA at 5.36 seconds, making his damage per second at 7.2 million, which is extremely good. Ichiban Kai's best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Alright, next one is 7th Company Captain Former. Maru is one of the best affordable dark unit, especially he is a heal unit where he will be able to attack both air and ground enemies in this new Bleach update. 7th Company Captain Former stats a max upgrade and max level are 11.2 million damage with his Dark Flame dealing 53.8 million and his SPA at 4.19 seconds, making his damage per second at 15,513,127. Oh my gosh. At later upgrades, Maru will deal Dark Flame damage, which is incredibly overpowerful legend stages, caverns, and many more. I highly recommend to pull for this unit as I consider this unit so viable along with the units mentioned in this video. How to get 7th company captain former is by summoning on the World 2 Ultimate banner. Okay, next unit is Green Asper. Tatsumaki is still one of the best heal unit, especially she has an insane range and slows enemies. Especially she is insanely good for the portals and legend stages. Green Esper stats are max upgrade and max Valar, 159,480 damage with her SPA at 3 seconds, making her damage per second at 53,160, which is insanely strong as you can place 3 of Green Esper and she's extremely cheap to max upgrade, making her one of the best heal units with her slow. The best traits you can have on Tatsumaki are Overlord, All-Seeing, Shinigami, and Glitch trait. Alright, next unit is Black Swordsman Berserk. Guts is still one of the best dark units, especially he will become a full AoE hybrid and will deal hemorrhage damage at later upgrades. Black Swordsman Berserk stats a max upgrade and max Valar, 27.8 million damage with his hemorrhage damage dealing 39 million and his SPA at 6.81 seconds, making his damage per second at 9,809,104, which is insanely strong, especially you can buff his hemorrhage even more with soul once you get to world 2, and at later upgrades he becomes a full AoE, which will be useful for legend stages and caverns. Okay, next in is Quincy King. Quincy King is one of the newest obtainable unit you can get in this new Bleach update, and he became one of the best, especially he has an insane passive ability and becomes fully AoE at later upgrades. Quincy King stats a max upgrade and max Valar, 43 million damage with his lightning dealing 15 million with his SPA at 7.22 seconds, making his damage per second at 8 million, which is extremely strong, especially he has a passive on placement where he will be boosting damage ability to all allies in his range by 10%, and he will be getting an ability at later upgrades where he will deal 15 billion damage, which is extremely good. How to get Quincy King is by summoning on the World 2 Ultimate banner. Quincy King best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. Alright, next unit is Strongest Sorcerer Unsealed. Gojo became insanely good with this insane slow and how incredibly overpowered he is on placement in this new Bleach update. Strongest Sorcerer Unsealed stats a max upgrade and max Valar, 53 million damage with his SPA at 5.82 seconds, making his damage per second at 9,106,529, which is incredibly overpowered, especially he is already strong with this time stop ability that he gets at later upgrades. At upgrade 3, Gojo will get Unlimited Void, where you can manual time stop ability and freeze every enemy in his range and can be activated every 25 seconds, which is insanely strong, especially when you're trying to clutch in legend stages. At the last upgrade, Strongest Sorcerer Unsealed will get a nuke ability where he will deal 8 billion damage. Okay, next one is Ancient Vampire Over Heaven. Dio is one of the best godly units, especially he becomes a full AoE and will get a new ability at later upgrades. Ancient Vampire Over Heaven stats a max upgrade and max Valar, 47.4 million damage with his lightning dealing 16.6 million and his SPA at 8.42 seconds, making his damage per second at 7,600,950, which is extremely overpowered as he becomes a full AoE at later upgrades and will be able to hit both air and ground enemies. At later upgrades, Dio will get a Zawarudo Over Heaven. Upon activating, he will be able to time stop enemies for a long time, and every time an enemy spawns, he will be able to stun them and will summon units to fight for you. When having Ancient Vampire Over Heaven, he will make your stun, electrify, freeze, fear, time stop effects last 30% longer, which is incredibly overpowered. Do keep in mind that you can only have one leader buff by equipping one of the godlies in the first slot. The best traits you can have on Ancient Vampire Over Heaven are Glitch, Avatar, and Over Heaven. Finally, the last unit is Kachi Kai. Kachi is one of the newest obtainable unit you can get in this new Bleach update. It became one of the best unit, especially he does hemorrhage damage, great for early defending, and has a unique passive. Kachi stats are max upgrade and max LR, 19.3 million damage with his hemorrhage dealing 27.1 million and its SPA at 3.85 seconds, making his damage per second at 12 million. Oh my gosh, which is extremely strong, especially he has a passive where every 30 kills Kachi gets a rage buff, increasing his damage by 30% and decreasing his SPA by 15%. Only lasts for 4 seconds. Kachi's best traits are Glitch, Avatar, and Overlord. That was everything for this video on the top 10 must-have units in the Bleach Anime Last Stand update. I hope this video helped you in some sort of way. Remember to subscribe and like, and I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.